Good afternoon, Shankara TV viewers, and welcome you all for today's episode. So, continuing from yesterday's episode about this quantum state of meditation, that is the state wherein when your space expands, you stay in a stage of thoughtlessness and you are in a position to establish connectivity with cosmic forces. Now, I will just bring out certain verses from Upanishads, you please hear it very carefully, which substantiates this claim. As I told you, we have a bell shaped curve, and the space between two bell shaped curves of thoughtlessness is the space we aim for in meditation, where your mind delves and settles in a quantum state. What is quantum? I have already explained. It is a subatomic stage, very small atomic stage. I have also explained to you about the Planck's dimensions. The Planck's dimensions are the quantum state, the unified field stage, wherein particles are at the subatomic level. Now, let me go to the Vedas. I will come to a Upanishad called Kaivalya Upanishad. Kaivalya means liberation. That Rishi beautifully explains, and I will correlate and interrelate between my two analytical geometry bell shaped curve and with that of what is said in the Kaivalya Upanishad. In this Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, verse number 5, it talks of meditation. It says, Vivikta deshe sukhasanastah, Vivikta deshe sukhasanastah cha Vivikta deshe sukhasanastah cha suchihi sama griva shirah sharirah. Sama griva, griva means neck, shirah sharirah. Ati ashramastah. I will come to the meanings of this. Ati ashramastah swa guru pranamya, swa guru pranamya hrit pundarikam, the lotus in your heart, hridaya, hrit pundarikam. And he goes further, virajam, virajam, vishuddham, vichintya, vichintya, madhye, vishadam, vishokam. You please refer this verse in Kaivalya Upanishad, verse number 5. Vivikta deshe, in a secluded spot, sukhasana staha. Staha comes from the word, we have this Sanskritam grammar, mivahamaha sitaha taha. So, staha means dual two, but you, that dual place, the places of sukhasanam and vivikta deshe, staha in that place, cha and suchihi, which is pure, sama griva shirah sharirah. Griva is your neck, you should have the sama, you should be in straight line, your neck and your head of the body. Ati ashramastaha, it has to be in an ashrama place, that ashrama has to be in a secluded place. There you can sukhasanam, in a good asanam posture, comfortably cross-legged, if you are comfortable with that, sit there, suchihi, pure place, there have a same sama griva shirah sharirah ati ashramastah. Swaguru pranamya, you give salutations to your own guru, you respect your own guru, you pray before your guru. Swaguru pranamya hrit pundarikam. Vichintya comes last. Vichintya means meditate on that hridayasya lotus. Pundarikaksham we say of the Lord also. That lotus, Virajam. Virajam means untainted is the exact word. Virajam. Vishuddham. Vishuddham means pure. It is very clean, clear. Vichintya. Meditate on that Hrit Pundarikam, which is Virajam, Vishuddham, and Vichintya means meditate on that. Madhye, now note this word, Madhye, the Rishi uses the word Madhye. In the meantime, in between, Madhye, between. Vishadam, clear. Vishokam. Vishokam means griefless stage, no shoka. Clear, Vishadam. Vishadam means clear. Madhye, the Madhye is what I refer to, the space in between those two beautiful bell shaped curves of thoughts. That is that Madhye, the Rishi uses that. And Bhagavan Krishna says in chapter 6 verses 11 and 12, Suchau deshe pratishtapya. Pratishtapya means after establishing yourself in a pure deshe, place. Stiram asanam atmanah. Stiram asanam. In a asana means in a sitting, in a firm place, sit firmly seated there, atmanah, by your own self. Stiram asanam. Ati uchritam na. Ati uchritam means not in a high place, not in a elevated place. Ati, not in a very elevated place. Ati na nicham. Nicham means not in a pit, not in a very low place, not in a higher place, not in a low place. Chaila ajina kusa uttaram. See, this chaila is something like a soft cloth. They also called as jaila, soft cloth. Ajina means skin of a wild animal. Kusa means darba grass, kusa grass they say. Uttara means to cover. So you have to sit on in an animal skin. That's what Sri Krishna says, with a soft cloth, on a kusa grass, darba grass, uttaram, covering with you with that soft cloth. And tatra, there, eka agram manaha kritva. Eka agram means eka, one mind, there with one mind. Manaha kritva. Yata, shrink. Yataha is different. Yataha in Sanskrit, yataha means because, but yata without that visarga means you reduce your chitta, indriya and also kriyaha. Yata chitta indriya kriyaha, he says. You have to have the eka agram with one attention, reducing your chitta, indriya and kriyaha, your action. Bhagavan says beautifully, then upavishya asane yunjat yogaha atma parishuddhaye. That's it. Beautifully he says. Upavishya asane. After sitting that in that asanam, yunjat, you bring together, that is the yoga. Yoga atma parishuddhaye. You will get attention, you endeavor to that, that will bring everything very clear. That is what Bhagavan says in chapter 6 verses 11 and 12. That means you have to meditate in a pure place. You have to meditate in a pure place with a good asana. Asana means sitting. You have to, in a sthira, in a firm asana, you have to, not in a flexible way of sitting. You have to sit in a firm, in a pure place with a pure sthiram asana by your own self only, and there, not in a high place, not in a low place, in a very pit or in a ground, but on a probably on a flat ground, with having this uttaram, this coverings of a soft cloth. Ajinam means the probably sitting on a skin of a dead animal and on a kusa grass, that is on a darba, where from there what you have to do is you have to have one attention through your mind, manah krutva yata, shrink, reduce your chitta, your indriya and your kriya. Kriya means actions. Then after sitting like that on that asana, you yunjat means you bring, that is the yoga of mind. Yoga in previous days means it relates to mind till Patanjali came with his Ashtanga yoga, 8 limbs, your 2 shoulders, your elbows, your knees and your padams, 2 legs. That came later on, but it is only dhyana yoga because meditation was yoga in those early Vedic stages. And through meditation only you can control everything. When Bhagavan beautifully says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanam Samavedosmi, hey Arjuna, Vedanam Samavedosmi, Devanam Asmi Vasavaha, Indriyanam Manasa Manaha Cha Asmi, Manasa Cha Asmi, Bhutanam Aham Chetana. Of the Vedas, I am Samaveda. Vedanam Samavedosmi. Devanam Asmi. I am. Asmi. I am. Devanam. Of the Devas, Vasavaha means another name for Devendran. Indran. Devendran. Indriyanam. Of the Indriyas. Manaha cha asmi. I am the mind. Bhagavan says, of the Indriyas, I am the mind. And Bhutanam, of the 5 bodies, of the whatever you have, senses, bodies, pancha bhuta we call, air, water, of that I am consciousness, chetana, I am the consciousness. Bhagavan gives importance for indriyas, for the mind. So the yoga was meant for the mind. The yoga was meant for the mind because I have already told you, when Arjuna threw away his bow and arrow, with a strong, he had a strong body, he threw away his bow and arrow and said, I cannot fight. Chanchalam me manaha Krishna pramadi balavadradam tasya aham nigraham manye vayoriva dushkaram. Arjuna was fed up. Arjuna had a flickering mind, very strong athlete by body. Then only Bhagavan said, Vasya Atmanaha, you bridle your mind. Then one of these lectures is these yogic lectures which Bhagavan Krishna gives to Arjuna. Yoga means mind, controlled your mind. Tatra ekagram manaha krutva yata chitta indriyaha kriyaha. You shrink all your chitta, mind, and you reduce it, your mind, your indriyas and your kriyaha, your actions. Because ekagram is what is wanted, tatra there, in this upavishya asane, where you have sat down. Because mind was given more importance, because mind is what is going to develop you. It is your mind that is going to give you your character. It is mind that is going to give you even your body. It is mind that is going to give you everything, the way to realize your soul, the way to live in this world. Because with a flickering mind, even if you have a strong body, athletic body, nothing can be done. Very beautifully Bhagavan explains. Now I have already told you, in that space, in that quantum space, what you will have is intuitions. One of the finest aspects of meditating and entering into a thoughtlessness stage is the concept of what is known as receiving intuitions. See, one thing is very certain, intuitions are different from person to person. One man's intuition or one man's advice may not suit you all. I will give you several practical examples. It may not suit you all. Julius Caesar took his army to Dover's Hill when he invaded Britain. From the Dover's Hill, he showed his ships being burnt. He had burnt them. He had set fire onto their own ships, Julius Caesar, when he was invading Britain. And he told his commanders, those ships are burning, you know that we have no ships now. We cannot run back. Stay here, conquer and invade Britain. Well, he was successful. I am not saying his intuition was to burn those bridges. Come to Alexander the Great. Alexander, after crossing a river or crossing water bodies, he would cut off the bridge and throw them away and burn them and tell them, the troops, the bridge is cut, you cannot run back now, we will have to go forward. Alexander must be correct in his way. But then if you talk of army science, when an invading army finds the terrain tough, finds the enemy fire very, very tough, finds very hostile conditions, finds nothing is suitable to them, they have to retreat back. Every law of Julius Caesar or the laws of Alexander will not apply here, because if they do not retreat back and take a safe position, they would get simply mutilated, they would be eradicated, they will have loss of material and men, they would be devastated. So at that time it is a strategy of the modern army to come back, to retreat back a little bit and take comfort. Hitler did not do that. He followed the principle of Alexander and Julius Caesar. Lot of battle tanks, you must have seen the movie The Battle of the Bulge. Lot of battle tanks were going forward, but then they found, the generals told Hitler, sir, we cannot move forward because there is little fuel, it is better for us to come back, refuel and then advance. Hitler said, no, you will find fuel somewhere there, the enemy's fuel bump is there, their petrol tanks are there somewhere very near, do not retreat. It is not our principle to retreat. Once you go forward, you keep going forward. Then what happened? Calamity. All the tanks stopped, they were simply mutilated, they were damaged, decimated by the allied troops, nothing was there. Had Hitler followed his general's advice of a retreat to refuel his battle tanks fuelage, Hitler could have even survived that attempt there. He had lot of tanks, about more than 1,500 tanks, all were decimated. Had he followed the principle of retreat, contrary to the principles of Alexander or Julius Caesar, had he retreated, refueled, he would have gained more strength. See, that logic of Julius Caesar or Alexander did not apply to Hitler. Hitler lost. There are several such concepts. The concepts of, if you take Steve Jobs, if you take the concept of Steve Jobs says in his 2005 address at Stanford, the graduate convocation address, stay foolish, stay hungry, be hungry, stay foolish, he says. Now, what was that concept of foolishness? Even I did not understand. If I am foolish and miserably go and jump into a pit from Himalayas, what will happen? I do not know. I cannot be foolish. The word foolish is totally a negative word. It would not apply. But for Bill Gates, for Steve Jobs, was one of the most successful businessmen. It applied because in that foolishness he had some intuitions. That intuition, his senses told him foolish. He thought it was foolish through his 5 senses, but that flash coming from cosmology, coming from cosmic forces, told him to proceed on a particular path, of development of his software or hardware, whatever it is pertaining to calculators or computers. When that cosmic forces unknowingly to Steve Jobs guided him, he found success, but his senses told him it may be foolish. His senses told him it is foolish. So Steve Jobs would have thought that he had pursued a foolish, and because of his foolishness and because of his bravery applied on foolishness, he was successful. But that may not be the reason. There was a hidden, a latent cosmic force of intuition already existing in Steve Jobs' mind that guided him. Though the senses of Steve Jobs, the 5 senses, the normal 5 senses in a human being told Steve Jobs that it is foolishness, and Steve Jobs unmindfully went against his 5 senses, guided by the intuition from the cosmic force, thinking that his activity is foolish, but he became successful because he followed what is known as a foolish path. So the interpretation of Steve Jobs is wrong, not the action. So there is a difference Now I will come to you, because what is that natural intuition? We will see, because that what I am telling is intuitions differ from person to person, do not have a standard formula for intuition. It all comes from individuals' flash thoughts generated by the cosmic forces. Auvayar was a very famous poet in Tamil. She wrote lovely poems, divine poems. Auvayar herself comes with two different verses. You just hear this verse. One verse, as I was analyzing, is Ana Mudalil Adigam Selavanal Manam Ilandu Madigattu Pona Disai Ellorkum Kalvanai ஏழு பிறப்பும் தீயனாய் நல்லார்க்கும் பொல்லானாம் நாடு. She says, ஆன முதலில், the wealth you have, முதல் wealth, capital, அதிகம் செலவானால், if you spend more, மானம் இழந்து, you lose your respect, மதிகட்டு, you lose your intelligence, போன திசை, wherever you go, எல்லோருக்கும் கள்வனாய், everybody will call you a thief, ஏழு பிறப்பும், 7 births, தீயனாய், you will be a bad man. Nallarkum, even for the good people, you are the bad man. If you spend your capital more than what you have. Very correct concept. Yes. Another verse you see. பாடுபட்டு தேடி பணத்தை புதைத்து வைத்த கேடுகட்ட மானிடரே கேளுங்கள், கூடுவிட்டு காவிதான் போயினபின் யாரே அனுபவிப்பார் பாவிகாள் அந்த பணம். She says, பாடுபட்டு, you are working hard, பாடுபட்டு தேடி பணத்தை புதைத்து வைத்த, you are working hard and you are burying the money below the earth. புதைத்து வைத்த கேடுகட்ட மானிடரே, you fools, கேளுங்கள், here, கூடுவிட்டு ஆவிதான் போயின பின், when the life goes out of your body, கூடுவிட்டு ஆவிதான் போயின பின் யாரே அனுபவிப்பார் பாவிகாள் அந்த பணம். Who will enjoy that money? So that means after hard work, you earn your money, you bury them under the earth, and then when a person passes away from this world, earth, who is there to enjoy? So there are two verses now. One verse says, when you spend more than what you have, you will be a bad man everywhere. The other verse says, the other stanza says, if you work hard and put your money down the pit, down the earth, who is there to enjoy? That means the tongue can speak anything. The intuitions are different from person to person. There is nothing called a standard formula for an intuition. The intuition comes only through your meditation, through the cosmic force, through the intelligence of the cosmology, from the universal force. So I will come to you another very glaring example. The example is that of the Midas game. There were professors in Carnegie Mellon who brought out a beautiful mathematical model based on the simple straight line equation y is equal to a plus bx. They brought in lot of variables, more than million probably, through their computers to find out what should be the price of a share as on today. They built a beautiful model, constants and the variables put together, which will give the value of y, which is the value of a share. They said options, but I am simplifying it, the value of a share. And if you find the price of that share in the share market lower than this projected value or the calculated value of this model, naturally you can buy, because the model says 100 rupees on calculation, and you find today the share price of a share, a particular company share, is 90 rupees. So you think it will touch 100, you buy that at 90 and keep it with you till it touches 100 and then sell, fine. And then when if you find that price of a share is 110 rupees, what would you do is, oh, the market price today is 110, but the mathematical model says it's only 100. I don't want to keep because it will fall down, so I will sell the share. So, today if you find it at 110, you sell it thinking that as per the model the price will be 100. A very perfect model it was mathematically, because it took into account various variables, various factors, including if a Saudi Arabian prince sneezes, what will that have an impact on the prices of the oil industry? If there is a hurricane somewhere, what will that have the impact? So many factors were taken into account because of the computer availability today, computer calculations available today. But then what happened? Finally, brokers who believed on that model and started their operations buying and selling lost about $100 billion. The model which was built with precise calculation, which will stand the test of any mathematical calculation, built on perfect computers, calculations precise mathematically, built by professors known to the world who are no less than Einstein, with such brilliant minds, failed. And then what happened to Warren Buffett? Buffett is another investor who does not know probably all these calculations. He built billions and billions of dollars, probably the world's third or fourth richest man. What was the factor? It was not the intelligence or knowledge. It was the inborn intuition of Warren Buffett. It was the intuition of Warren Buffett that made him. He might or may not have realized that he has an intuition, as something, a cosmic force giving him the correct guidance, the right guidance in his field of making money. But he had. With these calculations, these professors lost money. Without any calculations, that Warren Buffett made money. How is this possible without intuition? See, my view is intuitions are there which are inborn for some and which can be developed in some. Inborn for some is, it is inborn for Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Ambanis, Tatas, Birlas. They have what is known as a natural intuition. Okay, my dear friends, viewers, in the next week I will continue on this lecture more on intuitions. Till such time, I thank you all for watching this episode and wish you till then a very prosperous time. Thank you.